So welcome back to my testimony on Sunday Best. Good to have you. Thank you so much for making time to be here with us, as we share powerful testimonies that will inspire you and give you hope and encourage you to keep going because you're not alone in this journey. God is also with you and He has your back. We are the James Suits Riverside, great place. They have something going on, something really nice. This month of May is actually an happy international burger month. So this is a month for people to do burgers. They have an amazing burger called Bogoff Burger. You buy one, you get one free. And I tell you, it is such a huge burger. So check it out. The restaurant is called Agenti. You'll love it. And it will be great, all right? So we are with Dan M. sharing his testimony, having been born to a father who's 60, to a mother who's 20. But you're having a good time. You're celebrating life. There's a lot of love within your circles. But then music becomes, like your way of life. Where there's music, that's where you run to.
Sure.
So here you are after high school. So you continue with your high school. But then things started taking a different direction.
Yes.
And route for you.
I remember as I grew up, just like every other child or every other teenager, because I was brought up in a normal family, although along the way, while I was around 14 or so, things started changing because my daddy still had that issue again of repeating what he did with my mother, but this time he repeated it with an older woman who came into his life, not with an intention of becoming as one of the other women my father had or wives that he had.
Right.
She came with an intention of getting what my father had.
Oh, no.
So when she came into the family, everything changed. Things started going west.
Oh.
And everything changed, and the same daddy who loved us all of a sudden changed and became somebody else.
Wow.
And he started mistreating us. We had never known anything like that. We were brought up in a life that was, though we were staying in the village. Actually, my father was the first person to build a stone house in the village. So we were that prestigious kind of a family. Right. To our house, into our family, meat was like a daily thing. Good food in the village. And our daddy loved us. He would buy us some snacks. I remember one time he bought some snacks and brought them home. And because my mother was that lady who doesn't know things about the snacks, he thought it's one of my father's things and kept it. And then one day, after some days after father, he asked my daddy, and what is this? Hii kitu yako ulileta ni ya nini? And then my dad was like, na sio ni kitu yenyu ya kukula.
It was for the kids and you guys.
So life turned into a different direction. We used to know nothing like, hired laborers, and we used to have people work for us. But my daddy dropped us, stopped helping us, stopped taking care of us until we had to go. The people used to come to our kwa mashamba zetu kutafuta vibarua. Tulianza kwenda kwa shamba zao kutafuta vibarua. Life kind of started changing. It became a little bit rough. But still we continued living. I finished my high school, and 2 years after high school, things were so bad. And I was thinking of becoming a much worse boy. And at 21, the voice of God started speaking to me. God started calling me to Himself about salvation. And I remember there was a particular week that the voice was persistent.
Right.
And I told God, excuse me, God, because I knew everything about God. My mother was a church person. No, my mother was really born again. My mother was praying for me day and night because I was a spoiled boy. I was a bad boy. I was going the wrong direction. I had a weakness with ladies, with women. Actually, at Form 3, I remember I had done all wrong things as far as sex is concerned. There is nothing about sex I had not done at Form 3.
Form 3, right.
That is how bad I was. I remember in high school life, I would have like 5 girlfriends
Yeah,
at a particular
one
time.
point.
Yeah, because I want to be so much secure, so that if you boot me, I have
drop-
3 more or 4 more.
Yes.
So I don't need to feel like I'm hurting.
Ah.
So I was a bad boy. I did all manner of all wrong things. I did all wrong things. But at 21, I remember very well, that particular week, God started dealing with my heart. The Spirit of God started communicating to me and convicting me. And I remember at a particular time I told him, God, I understand. It is you speaking to me. But please, Mungu umekosa watu wa kuokoa. Mimi imagine siwezi okoka because mimi nikiokoka nitaanguka kesho.
Yeah, you
I would
too
be
deep.
yeah, I would be so open to God. Even today I'm open to God. Just like I talk to God directly. Kama nimekasirika na Mungu, namwambia God, mimi leo imagine umenikasirisha. I'm angry with you. There is this and this. So what happened is that in the course of that week, because I knew I would not make it, God said to me, the Spirit of God started to speak to my spirit and said, you get born again and I will handle your issues.
Right.
Then I said, okay, God, is a deal? Yes. I said, okay, I will get born again. So it was on a Saturday. And I said, okay, fine. I'll pray for myself, but please, God, it is between me and you. So please don't tell me to tell anybody. Ni kati yangu na mimi.
At this point, of course, even within where you were staying, people knew you were a bad one.
Yes, people knew me. In the whole of the small town where we lived, everybody knew me. I'm a boy of girls. Because today you'll see me with this girl, tomorrow you'll see me with another girl, and all of them, I would play around them. And everybody used to know me. My character was not good. Even the pastors of that region, they knew. Amongst the people who can be born again, this one no.
Yeah,
this one a no. This one is a no.
Right.
So I remember that time that when God started dealing with me, I told him I will get saved, but it's between me and you. That was at night.
Right.
And I prayed for myself and I got born again. But in the morning, it was on Sunday, the preacher used to, then it used to be only one station. It used to be, I think, Voice of Kenya or something like KBC something. The preacher that morning preached on the radio and said, if you're next to your radio, kama uko kando ya radio yako na ungependa kuokoka, inua mkono wako tuombe. I lifted my hand and I said, I am getting born again. He prayed for me. Now the conviction was too much. Then it happened that I had gone to visit one of my relatives away from home, and she told me on Sunday people don't travel, so you can't travel back home. You'll either stay at home or we go to church. And I said, I'm going to church. Why? The conviction was extreme.
So it started with you praying for yourself?
Then I was prayed on radio.
But you are saying this is very personal.
Yes.
Because if other people know I'm born again, then they will think, it's a lie.
Yes. So we went to church, and the preacher of the day preached, and I can't remember what he preached, because my mind and my heart is wondering, when will they do an altar call? Because I want to do away with everything else and I want to be born again.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the preacher forgot to do the altar call.
You mean the altar call is very important? For you, that's what you were waiting.
It is very important, because even after the program, we must do an altar call.
Right.
To the people who are watching us on the television.
I like that.
Because whoever would want to get born again, you never know. If the conviction or the feeling of the conviction goes away, they may never want it again. So they didn't do an altar call. The preacher didn't do the altar call. But fortunately, or fortunate enough, the elders are very important in churches. The elder who came to do the announcement, reluctantly after the announcement said, na kama kuna mtu ambaye angelipenda kuokoka akuja hapa mbele, before amalize jina ka kuokoa.
Ulikuwa ushakimbia.
By the time alikuwa anasema ka, I was at the altar kneeling.
Wow.
When my niece, the relative I had gone to visit, saw me going to be saved, do you know she stood up, she screamed, she spinned around until she fell. She couldn't believe. Because even the entire family, as big as it is, they all believed I can never be born again.
Yeah.
That is how bad I was. So I was prayed for, I got born again. And what I experienced is that when the Bible says, "Come ye who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," that's exactly what happened. I received an instant deliverance. The burden of the things that I had carried in life dropped down literally.
How was the prayer? Was it very charismatic? Uliombewa ukaanguka?
No. I wouldn't say there was that whoo thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. But in my spirit, I felt a freedom like never before.
A release.
A release. And such a joy exuded in me. And I felt something that was a witness in me that kabisa nimeokoka. Honestly, I've gotten saved. And do you know what happened? From that day, everything that was a snare and was a big deal for me, it was gone totally. The cravings for wrong things, it died literally.
Instantly.
Instantly, it was gone.
So Danem, you say, before this, one of your big issues was sex. So you mean that ended right?
I'm telling you for sure, I know God is able to do anything. If he would deliver me from the addiction of sex. You remember that's why I was telling him I can't get saved?
Yes.
Because I knew I can't go for a week.
Yeah.
I was much worse than married people. In the course of that week, I will have like two or three girls.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was. But God is powerful. And the Spirit of God is at work. I got an instant deliverance. And that's why I just want to address a parent somewhere and tell you, do not get tired to pray for your children. I had a praying mother. My mother prayed for me. She would do prayer meetings in our house to pray for me.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how deep your son is. It doesn't matter how deep your daughter could be. But I know there is God who is able to deliver them and to convict them. If only you will keep on upholding them in prayers. Fathers and mothers, don't give up on your children. You are their lifeline. Because if the society has given up on your child, if even the church has given up on your child, if the relatives have given up on your child,
and they've given up on themselves as well,
and the children have given up on themselves,
Yeah.
then who else is going to have them and help them?
That's
It is you as a parent. Ukisikia watu wakipiga mtoto wako usimpige. Ukisikia watu wakiongea vibaya kuhusu mtoto wako, wacha kuongea. Muombe.
right?
Until I remember one time before then, I remember one time I want to encourage somebody. I used to ask myself when I grew up, I was coming to 20s, and I asked God one time, God, because I was like, I'm feeling I needed a father who was younger than my father for the age gap and relationship matters. And I said, God, why couldn't you have allowed me to be born by a younger man? And then God said to me, because if any other man fathered you, it was not you.
Yeah, that will not have
There
been
was
you.
never going to be you if the man that birthed you didn't birth you. And from that day, I am proud of my father like nobody's business. It doesn't matter how bad he could have become. And I want to encourage children today, and even young men and young people, and even elderly people who sometimes feel like their daddies was a disappointment.
Yeah.
I want you to be grateful because of your father forever. Because without him, there was never going to be you.
Right.
The only man who possessed a seed that is called Anthony Diema was your father.
Yes.
Nobody else.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
what
whether
kind
he is
of
a
man.
drunkard,
Yes.
he is a bad person, he is
Wow.
what? Do you know he is the only man? Even if you're a child of rape,
Yes.
that guy was the only man who had a seed called you.
Wow.
You were born on purpose. And I want you to know that the purpose of God in you is greater than where you're coming from.
Come on.
You could never choose where to be born, but you can choose where to die
Right.
or where to live.
Yes.
You could have been born in a slum, but you can choose to live in Runda.
Yeah.
You can choose to live in Riverside, like where we are right now. It's a beautiful place.
Yes.
Why? Because there is power of purpose. And God is purpose driven.
Right.
God doesn't care who is your father. He doesn't even mind about where you were born. The thing is, you were born for a purpose. And if at all you can recognize your purpose, regardless of where you're coming from, because I got saved and I was able to locate the purpose for which I was born. And in that purpose, there was something called music.
Yes.
And when I realized music in my purpose, music became a door opener for me to become an agent of change to other people's lives. And that is why I treasure the gift of God in my life. And this is what I say: when you realize your gift, don't drop it.
Right.
And that is why I said, even when I will be a bishop of bishops, I'll never drop music. And I just want to address someone who feels like music is an inferior thing even in church. And I want to encourage somebody who feels like, when will I exit the worship team to enter into preaching?
Oh, yeah, right.
Because that's what happens in churches. People feel like
Yes.
music is an inferior thing. The preaching is the main thing. But let me tell you something. Music is a major thing, just like preaching is major in church. And that's why I want to address even the church people, to help their mind begin to think differently. That music is as powerful as preaching is. And don't try to think, when will you exit singing to enter into preaching, because you can have both.
Wow.
People like Pastor Donnie McClacken.
Yeah.
People like Bishop Marvin Winans.
Yeah.
He comes from one of the greatest family in America, which is a singing family and a preaching family. So I want to encourage someone and tell you can have both of them. You don't
Right.
need to drop either.
That's right. So of course, after your salvation thing, a lot of things changed. You now started doing even purposeful music.
Yes.
You started growing. How has the journey been since then, now coming to where we are?
Wow. God, in his own ways, he had to bring me to this capital of Kenya.
Yes.
Actually, as I grew up, I told you I'm a village boy.
Right.
I really feared Nairobi, to be honest.
The big city.
I am a professional barber. I'm a professional salonist.
Oh, really?
I've got other things that I do.
All right.
And the reason as to why I finally came to Nairobi was because of running a barber shop and a salon.
Okay.
But God started connecting me with men of God who could notice the purpose of God in me, and got opportunity to minister in worship teams that helped to grow and nurture my gift. Because for your gift to finally become profitable, it has to go through the process.
That's true.
If I was still in the village, maybe Anthony would not have known me.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But I was too saved, extremely saved, extra saved, because I had this belief in me that if you are born again, you should not sell what God gave you.
Yeah.
So I was never going to record, never ever. But I was doing meetings. I was invited in name churches in Nairobi to lead worship. I've been a praise and worship leader for more than 26 years now. I would lead worship everywhere. But I know it was just perfecting my gift. Until one day God saw there was too much foolishness in me. We are not born again to be stupid and to be foolish. No. So God will keep on sending you people who will help you.
Yeah.
So one man, God sent me a man from Uganda. This man from Uganda came and told me, I've watched you do ministry, worship ministry in the city and even outside the city. And it's powerful. It is great. But it will never benefit you. Because one thing I know about church people with worship teams, you will sing powerfully in church, lead worship powerfully, but nobody will come to tell you, get this 1,000, go take a soda, you really blessed us today.
Yeah.
They won't.
Rarely
All they
happen.
will say is that, oh,
God bless you.
You are such an anointed leader of worship. I can't wait for Sunday to come. We are so blessed.
Wow.
But they will never appreciate the gift. But the day you will record a song, your gift will graduate into a different level, and it will begin to be appreciated.
Wow.
So this man of God told me, 4 things you must do for your gift to become profitable. Number 1, discover
All right.
your gift. Number 2, excavate, extract it, refine it. Number 3, package your gift. And number 4, market it.
Right.
And it will bring result like you've never seen before. And all of a sudden the veil was removed. And I started recording. But it was not going to be easy, because I had just joined the full-time ministry and I didn't have a lot of money. So I recorded from the slums. A friend of mine who was also learning how to record, I said, can we record something? In other words, you must begin from where you are to get to where you're going. I want to encourage somebody, begin where you are. But what happened is that CD landed in one of producers of music in Nairobi. And he noticed and realized my voice. He wrote me an SMS, because there was my number on the CD.
Yes.
He wrote an SMS to me. Your singing is so promising. God bless you. And signed his name. I said, no. This is a lie. This person cannot know me. Notice my music.
Yes.
As bad as it is. No, this is a lie. He cannot be the one. So, just to be polite, I just wrote back, thank you.
Yeah.
And after 3 months, I said, let me check and see whether this number works. Because maybe this ni mtu alikuwa ananichocha.
Yes.
Kimacha niangalie kama inafanya job. So nikafinya. I dialed. Ikalia. Nikasema nitamwambia nilikuwa nataka nini, nikakata. On the other end, it's like he has always waited for me to call.
Wow.
When he called, I was like, what do I tell him?
Yes.
And he said, where are you? And I want to see you. I said, me? You? See me?
It's not possible.
I said, okay, fine. I can't come to town today.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. So I came to town and I met him.
Right.
Have you ever met someone you've never met and they're so happy about you? He was overjoyed about
to see you, yeah.
To see me and to receive me. Then he told me immediately, from today, your work is to sing. And my work
is to produce.
Is to finance every project you're doing.
Wow.
And true to his word. He said, I'll buy clothes for your videos. I'll make sure you shoot the videos. I'll make sure you go to the studio you want. You'll record the songs you want. And that is how it happened.
Amazing. And this is you right now.
Yes.
So your music started growing, and it grew, and it became, now it broke the boundaries of the church walls.
It is true.
Into radio and other places.
Yes.
What would you love to encourage someone this morning?
What I would want everybody to know, and everyone who is watching us to know, is that you are not an accident, and God brought you to the face of the earth with a purpose. All you need to know, and all you need right now, is to realize what is your purpose in life. You could be at your lowest, but one thing that I want to encourage you is that don't just sit down, start where you are. It would be so small, and that's why the Bible says, do not despise the humble beginning. It could be so humble, but it can grow to the huge, to the biggest thing that has ever been. Do not give up on yourself. You may not have been to college, you may not have even been a learned person, but school or education is not all that you need for you to become or you must become. So I want to encourage you and tell you, you can rise up to the highest level you would want to rise up, so long as you don't give up on yourself and you don't just sit there. Rise up and do something.
Come on. Music has made you travel the world over.
Amen.
You've gone to many places.
Yes.
To do music.
Yes.
I like the Kikuyu hymn.
Yes.
Let me just do a line of that.
Jeso newe monyedi nane joe negwoni buku yaga yugaga newe mwedi watwana ene nyedaga we mwene yene anye daga ne chowe nego ma.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daniel, for sharing your very powerful testimony. May the Lord use you more to be a blessing to the world. You're everywhere on social media.
Facebook, Dan M. The M is EM.
All right. So
Dan
D-A-N
M Unstoppable.
space,
Yes.
then E-M.
Yes.
All right.
Dan M Unstoppable on Facebook.
All right.
On Twitter, Dan M. On Instagram, Dan M. On TikTok, Dan M.
Got TikTok. Uh-huh.
On Snapchat, Dan M.
Dan M right there. Very, very amazing human being,
Thank
but also
you.
pastor and music minister. All right. I hope you are encouraged, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for having been with us on My Testimony. We share it again next week. I hope it will be a blessing to you. Remember to visit Gem Suites Riverside. The 2 burgers I've told you, one, you buy one, get one for free. Try it out. You'll come back and tell us, yes, we went, we tested, we conquered, and here we are. God bless you and have a beautiful Sunday.
Gem Suites Hotel and Luxury Serviced Apartments are positioned a contemporary serviced property offering international 5-star standards with personalized service. Our spacious guest rooms, variety of dining areas, and carefully designed meeting spaces put Gem Suites at the center of Nairobi's vibrant social and business life.